GSL.
What's up, guys? Tasteosis is back. We're going on to the second best of 5 here in today's final GSL Code A.
That's right. After today, we will have the entire top 32 for Code S Season 2 of 2015. Really exciting stuff. On top of that, Medium is free. We have a new app that you can get the VODs very quickly
Nerds are celebrating in the streets.
That's right.
Pouring champagne all over each other. Get back inside and watch the games, unless you're watching on the app.
Yeah, and then that's totally fine.
That's fine.
Or I guess you could just watch on, the Twitch app or something too. I guess that
could.
works. But
you can't
get the VODs there for free quickly.
That's right. Definitely get that app and punch in the code that you see at the bottom. THX, not the normal thanks, is the code.
That is the normal thanks. For everyone watching this, that actually is the normal thanks.
For people that came from the internet, that is the normal thanks.
Are there people watching this that aren't from the internet? There's a few, I guess. I don't know.
It's interesting, actually. There really is this point where we're having people that do watch content on the internet and then people that watch TV and then know what YouTube is. And I'm having this with, the older people in my family where I'm just discovering which of them, when I tell them I have a TV show and it's on twitch.tv, how many of them have never been able to get it and instead will go on YouTube and try to find a clip? Most of you guys
at least they try to find the clip on YouTube, unlike my family.
No, I've had this several times where I'm like, no, just go to twitch.tv. You're like, I looked on YouTube, and I'm like, yes, that's another site with content on it. But and then there's people that won't even go on that. I mean, think about this: if you're in this day and age, and you're actually somebody who just watches TV,
like actual television,
yeah, like cable TV. I mean, you are missing out.
I would just never do that.
So much more content. Well. When
Every
was the last
time I'm in a
that
hotel and I see a TV, there's so many commercials. Why would I ever do that?
Well, what's funny about it, too, is that even have to just schedule a specific time for a lot of the stuff that you can see on the internet, I think the last time I was watching TV at a scheduled time was when I was a kid watching cartoons at my grandma's house. I'm like, okay, Batman's on at 4 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
I got to get off school.
Saturday morning,
Pirates of Darkwater.
Oh, sick.
Saturday anime on Sci-Fi Channel. That's what I was watching. Anyways, today we have a very legendary StarCraft II player for Zerg. Curious, he's been around since the beginning. He's always around. He's always doing well. He is, I'd say, like Tier 3 Code S material, if that's fair to say. Maybe Tier 2.
I would say that he is a top 32 player. He's always in Code A, and he always makes it to Code S. But he rarely does anything real in Code S. There have been times where I've felt like his Zerg has been one of the better Zergs in the world.
If he was a Batman villain, he'd be like Poison Ivy or somebody like that.
Poison Ivy?
Formidable, important in the storyline, but he's not like the Penguin or the Joker.
All right. I can get on board.
Now, over here we got Khan. If this guy's a Batman character, he's Croc. Khan is definitely the underdog today. He's very good. Definitely don't count him out. Just if you look at the history of accomplishments here from Curious.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
BravO's good. He's definitely a good Terran.
He's very good.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't really stack him up against Curious, as you said. Curious has just done so much more. But that being said, I'm not going to count BravO out here.
What do you think the score is going to be? I'm saying 3-1 Curious.
I think it's going to be 3-2 Curious.
3-2 Curious?
I think it's going to be a lot closer than a lot of people are expecting. I think, and in fact, if BravO were to win, I wouldn't be super surprised. If Curious isn't on his game, BravO's one of these guys that practices all the time. He's an up-and-coming player still. You can't expect him to have done too much so far. He came over with Kespa, whereas Curious has been around longer than that. So it makes sense that BravO hasn't quite done what Curious has done yet. You know what I mean?
There's still a lot of time in BravO's career to prove himself, though.
Yeah.
Here's our map lineup. Iron Fortress, Overgrowth, Merry-Go-Round, Bonnie Research Station, and King Sejong Station.
Cool.
Coolio.
Iron Fortress TVZ. Excited to see it. Pretty far push distance, I guess, across that map.
And we're now moments away from actually getting the real match started here. Curious has got so much experience under his belt over the past 4 years. He came into StarCraft II very strong. A lot of the other players in the tournament were saying he was the Zerg they were most afraid of.
Yeah, there were times like that, absolutely. He was this is a guy that can play every single style. We've seen him deviate from very aggressive seasons to very macro-heavy seasons. He was one of the original Zergs that could defend against strong Warp Prism play after the Warp Prism buff. I remember that very clearly. Like, this guy would get as many spines and spores as it took to defend everything. He was very good at Broodlord and Fester, but when that went away, he did not. He was not a patch Zerg by any means. Nowadays, you know, he does use a lot of Stormless as well. So he's kind of flexible. He goes to whatever seems strong. Good player.
And we are beginning now our second best of 5 in the final day here for the GSL Code A. In the upper right, our Zerg. He is
Startail Curious.
Curious. And his opponent here in the upper left, debuting here in GSL Code A.
Samsung Galaxy Khan BravO.
Not a bad ID, by the way. I like that.
BravO?
Yeah, I think it's a cool ID.
It's pretty good.
Capital O at the end. I like that aesthetically.
Yeah, and I feel like it's an ID that you can sometimes cycle through other caps every now and then when you're bored.
Sure.
Well, I guess in StarCraft II it's a bit harder. The way that it's not.
That's true.
It's not like StarCraft 1 where occasionally I would just log on and make everyone angry by just having only the O capitalized in my name. You're like, that is so hideous. Please log off and re-log on with a different cap. I'm like, nope.
Artosis.
It was just so gross looking, man.
I never messed
An old
around with
peanut
it.
font. Oh no, I would.
I couldn't do it. You can't do anything with
Like
tasteless.
on Pirate Day, I'd just have the capital R, make pirate jokes, Artosis, and every now and then just the capital T or something, or capital T and a capital S. You can really, hold down that. You had a lot of flex with that stuff. You can really annoy people.
You could really, you can drive some people pretty crazy.
I've focused a larger portion than I care to admit of my life on kind of annoying people.
Mine was putting some kind of title by my name.
Yeah, Duke Tasteless.
Dr. Tasteless.
Count Tastula.
Count Tastula. King Tasteless. A bunch of dumb stuff like that. Well, hopefully that SCV doesn't have vertigo. That was very close to the edge there.
Yeah. Checking for the Overlord, of course, see what spot he's at.
I want to make a really horrible mod for StarCraft II where units don't have good pathfinding and can fall off cliffs if you don't micromanage them.
Oh my god. Imagine that. Imagine if to get across
it's
the map there
StarCraft
was
II
like
Lemmings Edition.
thin bridges were the only way you could get across the map.
Yeah.
It takes forever to try to get your army there, and
Yeah.
then there's one high tempo there. They're like, no! And you try to turn around, units are just falling off the sides. It's like a Lord of the Rings thing right there.
Yeah, man. Complete chaos.
It's a great idea. It's much more realistic.
That's how I'm going to save esports.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what
Tasteless on his crappy maps where people are losing all their units.
Yeah.
So we had a really...
People just go flying units.
Yeah, it's the only way to play it safe.
It's like, huh. Well, it turns out the Phoenix wins. Protoss is the best race.
Confirmed. So both sides went for econ place here. Now, there's still room for Zerg to do some kind of cheese from here. I don't know if he's going to do that. We'll see. You know, there's a chance he did some Roach Warren or something like that.
Yeah, definitely a possibility. Just the quick speed for the time being. Does get to see a factory on the way. He's going to want to poke in eventually to see, is there going to be a starport follow-up? Possibly additional Raxes, although that's kind of rare. Or a third CC, which is a little bit more common than that.
So the Porling slipped by here. And they're going to push back these SCVs.
Kind of annoying.
Yeah, being a bit of a nuisance.
The to and fro of a TVZ.
Yeah, always a little bit of harass here and there.
Yeah.
And we just see drones being made, so it looks like Curious just wants to go into the econ play. He's very good mid-game and late game, so I can't really blame him there.
Yeah, I love little moves like that, by the way. He has 4 lings. There's no reason not to do that. He definitely costs Terran more than 25 minerals with that, so
Yeah, for sure.
it's pretty cool. I always enjoy seeing stuff like that.
So he's going to suicide this Overlord up in here, and he'll be able to spot this just in time.
Yeah.
So he knows about the starport.
That's a lot of intel.
Sure.
He now knows pretty much what his opponent is doing here. And that's exactly what you need as a Zerg player. Got to be ready. If you don't know if they went for the 3rd command center or for a starport or for additional barracks, that's like the easiest way to lose this matchup.
Yeah, you do have to get a good read on what's going on in the early part of the game. Zerg now taking the logical third base right over here.
Yeah,
Definitely don't want to take the other one farther to the left of the Zerg's second base. That's just too close.
I was a little bit spaced out there. The SCV left right before the hatch started, right?
Now you're making me second guess
I
myself.
believe so, because he started a siege tank right after, so he may have looked at that and said, oh, no third yet? Better get a siege tank.
It's possible. We've seen a little bit more siege tank play nowadays.
Yeah, certainly.
Not sure how good or bad that is. We'll have to see as time passes, but he did see that tank, right?
That's a little bit questionable. It was like right on the edge. I'm not
Guys, we
100%
don't
sure.
know what's going on here.
Oh, okay. He actually meant to make the siege tank for sure. Okay, it wasn't just based off that. Oh, it looks like there's a good drop harassment area. Haven't seen many TVZs on this map yet.
Yeah, it's still pretty new to us. Stim is just now starting. The Baneling's Nest is going to be finishing. And we're sitting on 40 drones to 41 SCVs.
This is Q.
I
like it.
This
Four
is
Marines in that
sneaky.
bunker.
Yeah.
A couple of Hellions coming as well.
I feel like this is a build that would go away in the meta, but if you do it early enough, people aren't ready for it, you'll just win.
Yeah, stuff like this can be fantastic at first.
He can hit the hatch from there, right?
Like, for instance, if Curious didn't practice against specifically this, BravO's had a huge advantage now.
Queen's actually coming down now, hitting this tank. He needs to actually get that SCV over there to repair that. This is pretty annoying, man.
Yeah, it really is.
Also, even the location there of where the bunker is, it's going to be harder for Lings to get around there and do damage.
Oh, yeah.
The mineral patch has actually blocked that off.
This is it's such a hard area to engage. That's why he's trying to use just the masked queens here. But some good micro from BravO. Look at that. Really well done.
Oh, bad time to siege, though, when those Lings just came up. And actually killing up that tank is really killing the backbone of that rush.
Yeah. I would say that's, yeah, I mean, there's nothing else that it really does now.
Yeah, I mean,
might be time to just activate and sell the bunkers.
Now, the problem is, I don't believe that BravO dealt enough damage there to make that attack worthwhile. Zerg's mining there, bunkers were made, tank was lost.
I guess it's like, he hasn't lost like too much though, right? Like a siege tank, was the siege tank itself worth it? I think that the fact that he's spending a lot of concentration on this area and he's built 2 bunkers is in some ways more painful. But he's forced some Lings. It's kind of annoying. I think he did end up killing a couple drones.
Oh, this is really bad.
Some of the mining time loss. There are cool things about it.
We'll see how good the follow-up push is from here. By the way, the armory has started. Looks like we're going to have a drop coming around to the second or main base. See how ready
that
Curious
front yard
is for that.
expansion is
the
wide open.
Yeah, no backyard expansion on this.
No.
And then that third base down there, that would be the neighbor's house.
Oh, he's having a sleepover.
Yep. Okay, here comes that drop in here right now. He's going to go, okay, no, he's going to go right behind the mineral patch over here. Thought for a second he was going to go up into the main.
Yeah. Well, we do have Banelings actually walking in right now. Looks like they do get to take out those Widow Mines, and also most of the Marines have been killed.
I'm not liking this game for BravO so far.
Yeah, Curious is just kind of dealing with everything well. No real advantage in any way for BravO here. Even the expansions were a bit quicker for Curious, although he hasn't started 2-2 yet. But a reasonably quick third there. No fourth yet for Curious. Instead, just making a lot of Zerglings and getting that Baneling speed as well.
Lings are massing up now in the center of the map. And this is going to pick up here in a little bit, guys. It's been a little bit of harass attempts from BravO. Curious handling them pretty well. Curious is set up pretty nicely now for the late game. He's actually at 69 drones right now. So this is the point in time where Zerg really has the muscle behind him. And you can see that with the fourth base being taken. Now it's going to be up to BravO to do these more standard pushes through the middle of the map.
Well, it looks like he could be going for a counterattack here, Curious, that is. A lot of Zerglings over there. If he catches little groups of units or reinforcements or something like that, it can be huge. BravO pushing through that center. Does go for that counterattack, and in fact, look at this. That's a little group of units. He gets to clear this out with minimal losses. That is really annoying for BravO.
Yeah, Curious can actually come up here to the third base. This is going to cause those Marines to try to turn back around. Curious playing the counterattack game, which is exactly the way he should be playing for this phase of the game.
Yeah, and any amount that he can slow him down is pretty huge. By the way, he's getting drops on these Overlords. That's really cool. I think that can mean nothing else than the fact that he wants to abuse the positioning of that third base and drop banelings.
I think it's something we don't see enough from Zergs, actually, where if you're in spots like this, sure, yeah, you can drop banelings right on top of the SCVs or even drop it to the main.
That used to be all the rage in the matchup, is dropping banelings on their army while attacking the roaches.
Yeah.
Back when the game first came out, but...
I wonder if it could still be viable now, actually.
Well, I don't think so. I think Micro's too good. They just like... I think Terran players nowadays would just stim back and run from the Overlords and pick them off. Back then, everyone was so bad.
Everybody was so bad. Well, the push is coming up here. Supplies are even. And we have more and more Marine. Oh, man. Yeah, way too much, Lings and Banelings there. Going to clean up the rest of these Widow Mines. That's a lot of Widow Mines lost, by the way.
Yeah, it certainly is.
You don't get those as easily as you can get Marines. So losing a bunch like that means you are going to have to be back a little bit further. He's now off the creep. The position here for BravO, not that strong.
Well, we do have a 2-2 finishing up for both players
every
here.
upgrade is actually about to finish the whole game right now. We have Protoss upgrades getting done right now.
I don't see +3 weapon attacks on range units for Zerg Tasteless. Where is that Ultraless Carapace Tasteless? Yeah.
Looks like
you've
exposed me, man.
I don't see Plasma Shields Tasteless.
15 mutas coming up here. Now, this is where this army is going to be much stronger for Zerg.
And he should have that drop upgrade as well. I'd love to see that used.
Yeah, that'd be really nice.
I can't wait to see exactly what he's playing. I feel like I want to write some StarCraft fan fiction right now where Marines run towards the mutas, then Overlords come and drop banelings on them or something. Just something totally unrealistic. All right, does drop a couple Widow Mines here.
Nice hit. 3 drops. I think she didn't see that one in the back.
Yeah, that turned out actually really, really well.
Oh, there's an Overseer there. Never mind. So he gets that Widow Mine. Zerg is so close to getting maxed out, and Terran is just, inches behind him in this race to just build up.
BravO even has more army supply right now than Curious.
Oh, yeah, very good point.
It's just
stronger army.
Yeah. Of course, on one less base. Doesn't need as many SCVs. I'm really excited, though, man. He didn't cancel the drops, right?
I don't think so. If he did, we missed that. But
yeah,
I believe
if he did, it was right before it finished.
Yeah, I believe he in fact did finish drop. So
I hope so. I really want to see Baneling drops. Any drops is fine. Just do some drops. Watch as he's never played this map. He thinks it's an island map, so he drops a drone in the bottom right.
We have the engagement coming up here. A nice surround there. The Thor's going to be picked up. And narrowly saved. Widow Mine's now being eliminated. Neck and neck, but I mean, BravO's doing a pretty decent job pushing here. I guess the question is, who can keep this up for longer? It's going to be a lot of traded armies here.
Well, we do have 3-3 on the way for BravO's. +3 attack going to finish pretty soon, and that's one of the really crucial upgrades in this match where things start to swing a little bit. He is taking his 4th base as well, but Infestation Pit on the way for Curious, so he's going to be going up to that high tech. We'll see exactly what he wants to get. I'm going to go ahead and harass this base. Not really that much defense here, just a couple missile turrets. Single bunker as well.
And this is actually pretty neck and neck. I like this, though. He's going to take the destructible rocks over here and just take this out because there's going to be a lot of room to counterattack in here with Banelings, which is going to make this base pretty vulnerable here for BravO.
Yeah.
That combined with the fact that this bottom, I guess lower base here for Terran, is also a bit far out there, means that he could also get punished in that way as well.
Yeah. Well, here he goes. He's going to go ahead, kill off this Thor in a matter of seconds. Enough units up there, though, do force him back for a moment.
It was like a matter of second.
Yeah.
So fast. And there's the 5th base being taken here at the bottom right. If Terran's going to win this game, I think Terran has to push up through the upper right into the main. And not by trying to harass.
He has to kill the 3rd or the 4th. Like, if he starts going down south with anything other than drops like we see, he'll be way too out of position. So definitely going to have to try to hold on to that with drops. We do have that Hive on the way. Both players max out. BravO with 20 more army supply. Right at the edge of creep. I love how he's not overcommitting there.
This is a pretty scary spot for the 2 players involved right now. All Terran has to do, like I said, get into the main and the game's done. But this is a pretty scary area. I mean, Zerg has like well over 180 degrees of angles that they can come in here. And we're seeing that enter now. The Banelings going right past the Thors as they should. The Mutas clean up the rest of the Thors. Nice splitting, though, there from BravO, but there still may be too many Lings, too many Mutas. The sheer number of Ling Muta there. He could actually chase him all the way back. I think he could even try to take out a base while he's doing this.
Yeah, he may try to. And in fact, right now, he's trying to focus down some medevacs as well, which is really, really smart.
If he
Picking
gets
off like
this area,
5 or 6.
He's going to get SCVs, but also so many depots.
Very true.
And I think he's just going to be able to do exactly
Look
that.
how many medevacs he's actually killed. He's killed like 8+ medevacs here. That's huge.
There's only
That's
3
so hard,
medevacs
actually.
on the map.
Oh, God. You
Which
cannot
means-
let that happen.
Yeah, these big-ass pushes are not going to be as strong anymore.
No, his healing is just going to go down to nil. Look at this. He's making 1 medevac right now. How are you ever going to be able to kill off Curious? Curious even getting 3-3, starting that out at least. Ultralisk Cavern on the way. When those two things complete, the 3-3 plus Ultralisks,
Yeah.
that's
scary.
Like you have to have Zerg in a very bad spot at that point because Ultra's mixed in here, plus catching up on upgrades. So tough.
We don't talk about this that often in TVZ because normally the unit compositions are easy to replenish. You can make the Banelings again, you can make the Lings again, you can make Mutas again. Same thing with Marine Marauder, Medevac. But actually, if Zerg kills a bunch of Medevacs, that's a huge setback.
Yeah, oh God, it's a big deal.
That is the unit comp setback that you need to have to win this matchup.
It's the long-term unit for Terran. Like, they can lose Widowmines, Marauders, and Marines all game long, just like Protoss can lose Zealots and Stalkers, just like Zerg can lose Roaches and Lings. But Zerg can't lose Mutas. Terran can't lose Medevacs. Protoss can't lose Colossus.
Right.
These are the units that you need to like keep alive because they're expensive and they increment out slowly.
Oh, man. Oh! Barely saves that. That's so close. Oh, my
man,
God.
Imagine that. Flew right
nice.
over that.
Yeah, really nice play there.
Yeah, look at this. He has a couple Widowmines back there. Oh! Ooh, good micro.
Jesus, just out of range there. Curious as to how exposed that other base is down there in the lower Terran base. Because I think the Lings and Banelings could come in there and smash that.
And
it's a planetary after all.
Yeah. Ultralisk's on the way, too.
Yeah, Ultra's being out like this.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
He's about to have 3-3 tastes. He's going to have chitinous plating
Chitinous platings, boys.
Yeah. +2 air attack. But we actually have like missile turret in planetary range. We have building armor for BravO. BravO's like ready to bring this to Supreme late game, but like I feel like the mobility of the Zerg army here is going to be pretty tough to deal with.
Lings are coming up now, and I don't think Zerg wants to engage here. I think he's going to have to back up a little bit. Give Terran that center location. He could even go around to the planetary if he wants now.
Now, when he has the Ultras out, it's going to be easier for him to pick off bases.
And chitinous plating is done.
Ooh,
We're going to have, all we need now is for BravO to land a Viking in front of that Ultralisk, and we have that Heart of the Swarm cinematic going on.
He has, like, he's about to have 50 Banes. That is a
pretty
lot
ridiculous,
of
man.
Banelings.
Well, 6 bases. We haven't even gotten a shot of that base at the bottom right.
Oops.
Ooh, don't lose those.
Yeah. It's he is starting to get a bank. In fact, both sides are. Another planetary on the way. Look at the base that BravO's taking as his 5th. I want you to look at that, Taste. Tell me what you think about that.
I'm looking at it, man.
I love it.
That is an uncomfy base to take. Terran is really out of bases that he can take conveniently. This drop turned out to be very effective, by the way.
That's a fantastic drop.
Terran is one of the only races where you sort of aren't allowed to have any more bases after this. Even in Brood War, like, if you do it, it's kind of dirty. You probably shouldn't be able to get away with it. But
seriously, it would be very difficult to take even this many bases in Brood War as a Terran for sure.
Yeah.
Like, maybe with a lot of Widowmines set up against a Protoss or Spider Mine set up against Protoss or something, but it gets very hard with Terran to cover everything against Zerg. It's just so mobile.
In a way, this base up here for BravO may end up just being a Baneling battery. BravO should end up losing this base, but Curious will spend all of his Banelings on that, not on the parts of the map that matter, interestingly enough.
You know what I like about this? Look at this. He's erasing the creep and attacking down a ramp. It's pretty darn good. Like, look at that. He doesn't know exactly when he's going to be popping in, and this is I like the move by BravO. It seems like a base he should just lose, but he's putting every egg into this basket.
Well, like I was saying before, if he just gets into the main, the tech tree's reset. So it's sort of working out. I mean, Curious is definitely now outside of any comfort zone that a Zerg would normally have in this game.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely a weirder game than what you normally play at high-level ZvT. I mean,
yeah,
think of a game where you've seen where Terran has actually expanded this close to Zerg while the pushing is going on.
It's crazy, man. We do have a lot of Banelings and Mutas coming up here, taking quite a bit of damage, but he will be able to kill this base off.
Actually,
I think. No, he's not, actually.
Well, he's running away from Marauders that can't shoot air, but...
Well, it's because they haven't tilted back yet.
Yeah,
One day a Marauder's going to figure out that he can actually just aim.
Lay on his back and hit the air.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they don't have that upgrade yet. We're still waiting to see if it's going to be out in Legacy of the Void.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see here. This is, I really like how BravO's playing this, I have to say. This is really, really cool. 14 Widow Mines. He continues to upgrade their armor, getting those sensor towers, missile turrets, planetaries.
Getting the Greater Spire here, too. I gotta say, I'm a bit
That's
surprised.
That's smart, too, actually.
Curious, I think, could have been better. I don't want to be too critical because this is a pretty good game, but I feel like Curious could have been a little bit better about cutting off reinforcements from getting over here.
Oh, okay.
There is a bit of an open area here where you could try to get in there. Yes, they're Widow Mines, but I mean, even just taking that out.
Well, I think he was a little bit sloppy, especially when he went to kill the 4th base at the bottom and then he didn't quite kill it. If he had actually focused on his units there, absolutely 100% he could have gotten that. But instead he didn't, so now we see that the bank is actually bigger for BravO as far as minerals go. Big push coming down right now. Oh, is he going to attack right before Broodlords? Like, his Broodlords are almost done morphing. Okay, just wants to push it back for now. Doesn't want to lose too much room. Oh, God. Lots of extra damage on those Ultras.
I think this might be the tipping point here, man.
It might be, but you know what? This can actually all change. Throws down some Fungals to slow him.
The Fungals are so good.
If only he had those Fungals with these Broodlords.
Broodlords are done.
But those Broodlords, this is going to be really hard. That's going to be a lot of Broodlings that are going to have 3-3. I mean, that's a big deal.
Keep in mind, too, that you know, if he takes out this base over here, you got to think actually Curious would be kicking himself for not killing that. Why can I still not remember the name of the building? Planetary Fortress, thank you. Planetary Fortress down there at the bottom. I mean, that's going to be pretty... If he had gotten that, this game could actually be over if he pushes through here.
Oh, yeah. As is, I'm still... I like this composition a lot for Curious. He's popping out a few more Infestors. Oh, I wish he had waited for him, but here he goes, pushing forward right now.
I don't know if there's enough Lings and Mutas. They're going to get chewed up pretty quickly. But the Broodlords are pushing further forward, man. Yeah,
Broodlords screw up Widow Mines more than anything else.
Yeah.
It's insane how good they are against the
so many Marauders here in the front to tank. Looks like a lot of these exchanges, Zerg's actually not coming out on top. In fact, he can't lose these Broodlords, or the game is just effectively over.
Yeah, he's got to be a little bit more careful. Does have some Infestors popping up now. Of course, Fungal Growth is going to be really big. Not a lot of anti-air here. Oh, no, actually, never mind. I just saw those Corruptors, so...
This is a pretty crazy game, man.
Yeah, this is really good. These two are having a very nice match so far.
It's actually one of the better TVZs we've casted in a while here. Kept getting confused by those chain
Code
links.
didn't really have good TVZs yet, did it?
Yeah, it didn't really. A lot of good PvPs, but
yeah.
And I guess he is going to get the planetary.
Yeah. And if BravO had taken one more base during this, I'd be kind of fine with this situation, but he hasn't.
In his defense, I mean, it's so hard to take another base.
Yeah.
As Terran. Terran does not get to expand as freely. That's why the planetary, at least my assumption would be, that's why the planetary was in the game.
Definitely.
To begin with, because Terran actually couldn't have these outpost bases as easily. So.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he should be repairing here. Well, I guess if he thinks he can save it right now. Some more Fungals are going to go down, locking that in, making Banelings all that more effective.
Really fantastic Fungals there. A lot of damage being dealt to BravO's army. BravO's bank completely gone, his supply crushed, his base gone. He's like barely even mining now.
Dude, it's 27 workers, and that's the only mining base.
Yeah, he doesn't even have that many mules, to be honest. Can't even make a mule joke here. That's when you know you're in trouble.
Yeah.
The casters can't even joke about the power of the mule and how much it mines.
Like, well, the mules would just mine those patches out even quicker, and then he'd be screwed. Well, this is one thing he's going to have to be careful about, though. Moving out on the map with these Broodlords. Actually, no, you know what? He'd be fine anyways. He has so many bases.
Yeah, there's not even one medevac out, so it doesn't even matter. Like, attack move, I think, basically does this. But this would be the one way you could lose, is having these Broodlords out in the middle of the map.
Well, he's going to push forward here, but I think with the Infestors under this, Fungal plus Broodlord equals dead Terran, especially if they're just on the ground army.
Well, here we go. Fungal really pretty much missing there. Not the best Fungals.
Sick Fungals. Fungal City. GG.
Fungal City.
Fungal City.
That's a dirty, dirty place. All right, well played by Curious. BravO, though, putting up quite a nice game as well. Seems like this is going to be a very good match.
You know, that was a really good game. I mean, BravO. When do you see a Terran pushing to the point where he's taken the Zerg, one of the Zerg's possible fourth bases?
Yeah,
Terran was literally in a.
I think it was the right choice too. Like,
oh no, I think it was great, but I mean, that is so rare to have a push that's actually entered into Zerg territory, and Terran has expanded there. We don't ever cast games like that.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if Curious was confident he could win that back there.
Well,
BravO, he had that location. The problem is that Broodlords do counter that. Broodlords, if you push and you have creep by you, Queens, Fungal, all that stuff. Excuse me, there's just not much you can do.
No, certainly. If he had tried to just stay on like Ultra Ling or whatever, I think that BravO would have pulled that one out, to be honest. But the Broodlords were like a really great choice. Defensively, you're not going to be able to push into that when he has some Fungals as well.
Yeah.
Especially since he was like late switching into Vikings. You need to realize that Broodlords are coming before they come. So it was well done. That was a really, really nice game. I very much enjoyed that.
BravO putting up a fight. But Curious is somebody who's really almost tenured in Code S, it looks like. He's always getting back in there. So this is a tough opponent here for BravO. But BravO, you know what? We've seen some guys who have had some very poor showings in Code A. BravO so far, not one of them. We'll see how his stamina is, though, after that last game. That's going to be a pretty exhausting game to go through.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, Overgrowth. Pretty straightforward map if there ever was one.
And we'll now go into game number 2 here with Curious having a 1-0 lead. And speaking of who, in the upper right, in the red.
StarTale Curious.
How about that transition for you?
That was really great. Can I try?
Yeah.
Okay, and then, you know, of course, you know, he played against BravO, who had a really great game. Some fantastic TVZ. I was very... Oh, speaking of which, here he is.
Samsung Galaxy Con BravO.
You are giving me a run for my money. I might have to have you just cast this whole thing, man. You're just going to have to cast this in 2 different voices that talk to each other.
That's just like I have in my head all the time.
Some more support here in the audience. By the way, those of you guys who are in the audience, thank you for coming down.
Yeah.
For those of you who want to come down sometime, you are always welcome here. Unless this building is locked up because we're not showing any video games, then don't come down here. But
That's
you
true.
can always...
We do lock the studio.
We do lock the studio.
If we're not using it.
We
got to saw off Taste's hand to use the fingerprint scanner.
the scanner that only I have, because only I have access to the studio too.
And you also need Taste's
take
eyeball.
my eyeball out. Like what was that movie?
There's a lot of movies that did
Denzel
that.
Washington. Not Denzel Washington. Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman. The basketball star?
Yeah.
Really?
He was in oh, hold on. It had a Steven Seagal
and Dennis Rodman. That sounds like a winner movie
it was
right there.
It was like a time travel one. Or they like have to unfreeze this cop.
Oh, Demolition Man?
Demolition Man, yeah.
Okay, that was not Dennis Rodman.
That wasn't Dennis Rodman?
That was Wesley Snipes, I believe. And that was Sylvester Stallone.
Oh my God! I dropped the ball here.
You basically don't know what anyone looks like.
I need to. These guys need to get gamer IDs. I'm not good with real ones.
Wow. Yeah, I like how
Dennis
you got
Rodman,
both the actors.
Sorry, that was Morgan Freeman. You're like, no, tasteless. Like you're wrong again. You don't know any of your actors at all.
Like that was Jackie Chan and Jet Li. I'm like, oh, we're getting really far off now, tasteless.
That's right, Demolition Man.
That was good.
Where he takes that guy's eyeball out. And He has it on the pen. I like that on the retinal skin. Yeah, it actually wasn't bad.
I liked it because I was a little kid when it came out. So
if we watched it again, I think we might have different opinions.
Maybe. My
then
fond
again,
memories
I'm starting to like some dumber movies more and more nowadays. Like I think if I was 17,
what type of dumber movies? Though?
Like if I was 17, I would have like probably been like, Pacific Rim wasn't that good. But now as I'm 30, I'm like, Pacific Rim is the greatest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was, and I think when I was 17 or 4 or 1 or 100 years old, Pacific Rim is still amazing and fantastic.
Yeah, well, I think I went through some phase where I got too cynical with movies when I was a kid. Like Independence Day.
You're pretty cynical with movies.
I am, but you know,
wait, when Independence Day came out, you didn't like it?
I liked it. And then when I got older,
oh yeah,
I was like, no, I'm not. But then I'm like, no, you know what? I'm enjoying this movie.
Yeah, I can still enjoy it, but
you know?
I mean, looking back on it, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely a few errors in that movie. If you're watching somebody who uses a computer all the time. So, so the command center is about to finish up here. Really hoping we have a game that's going to be as close.
Yeah, I would really enjoy another.
If it looks like the last game, we're going to have BravO building on the gold base and Curious side of the map.
A few Lings kind of circumnavigating that watchtower, finding a way over. Get some scouting done at least. Speed will finish pretty soon. What's another movie that you liked like that?
Like that's old?
No, I mean like you said.
Is this our
like,
movie where we're gonna be like,
Rim.
remember the '90s guys? That's what Tastos is in a nutshell. We got to kill time. Yeah. Another movie that's like that.
Well, I'm talking about like Pacific Rim, where you're like, oh yeah, this is really good, but you think the more cynical you before wouldn't have liked, but you like now.
Oh, I'm having a hard time thinking of one actually. I'm not sure.
It's the only one.
I did recently rewatch the Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh, how was that?
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. 5 stars. 5 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll skip that one.
Oh no!
I'll let my memories just remain as they are.
No, you need to watch it, man. It's like, it's actually surprisingly well done. How did these Lings get in here? What is the story with this?
He actually snuck these around the watchtower and waited for Speed to finish. It was very sneaky, and he got a full scout, seized the armory, and even got an SCV. So. Pretty awesome, but maybe a little bit late.
Yeah, maybe a little bit greedy. We have Hellbats about to push up here.
Yeah, it looks like he has enough of that spine, the Lings, and a couple queens with transfuse energy.
Yeah, nothing there to pair up with him just yet. We have some reinforcements for that, though, coming up over here. Baneling's Nest has started, but it's not done yet, so he's relying just heavily on Lings alone.
Oh, trying to come in with these Lings now. Does catch a little bit.
Those Lings taking a lot of damage. He's going to full on push forward here.
Oh, actually, gets some of the reinforcements. He's starting to pick off Hellbats as well. Only 3 Hellbats left. Well, make that 4. 1 is transforming, but the Ling's coming up for the flank. The flank just slightly slow, but still enough.
Yeah, and the problem is he didn't get any drones in that attack. Lings are pretty expendable. You know, there was not a moment where you had to have drones pulled, and it was picking off queens and stuff. So, I mean, game so far not looking that good here. Oh, say it, Artosis. I love Mick.
People are going to think I actually said that.
Yeah, that was you. You said that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. You did a good impersonation of yourself. But
now all he needs is the Mac Warper! Make the Hellions free!
Yeah! Car game!
Our Spallions!
People love that. Moonglade.
Oh, that was so funny, man. His American accent, I was just English accent. I'm like, he's so good at English, Tasteless.
It's not his native language. He speaks Australian most of the time, but
no, it was really good. His American accent was really, really good too.
Yeah. Can you do an Australian accent?
Sup, mate?
Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Can you?
It's hard to do on command. I'm not good at accents, but give me a.
Planes are moving on the crate.
Wow. Crack-a-coldy.
Cracky Cody's, mate.
I'll try.
The way to get the characters, you got to say drop bear in an Australian. Drop bear. A drop bear. There's some Australian guy watching right now just like yelling at his monitor like, shut up, you stupid American. Your accent's
horrible. There's a lot of them. But, no, they love it. They love the attention. I feel like we're holding them down, tickling the bear. Like, whoa!
The only people who are going to love that attention even more is if we just give some love to New Zealand right now. They'd be like, you remembered us.
Can you do a New Zealander accent?
I'm from New Zealand. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. Never been to New Zealand.
No, I can do one. Ready?
Yeah.
I'm not an Australian, mate.
I'm from New Zealand. All right, we got the we have the Mutas coming down now, hitting this refinery while Curious is slowing down any presence getting over there at the third base. Wow, he actually gets the refinery. How about that?
Yeah. Fine job on that. Taking the third right now is BravO. You know, this game, I would say likely to go pretty long. You know, mech on this map can be very good. It's definitely a map you can split directly in half and play it like that. Or you can try to hit a quicker attack if you feel like that's going to be doable.
What do you think of Zergs that just take the gold base versus mech on this?
Oh, I think you definitely should take the gold reasonably quickly. But I guess it matters with exactly what you want to do. Like right now he's pushing with these roaches. We'll see if this actually ends up working. Like if he can break through here, this is fantastic. If these roaches all die though, does look like he's doing a fantastic job though.
Actually, the Muta is taking a lot of damage here, but still the roach presence is just so high.
It certainly is. Not enough siege tanks there to really fend them off at the moment. A couple more siege tanks coming up. He's got to be careful with how he uses those. Does start to siege up the roaches right over immediately.
If he gets those tanks.
Yeah.
Now, problem is that without siege tanks, you can't hold off this many roaches.
Yeah, it looks like Curious is just going to kill him, unfortunately.
Yeah. You won't get the third base. If you don't have the third base, then you're going to lose this in the long run. And mech units are only good when they're comboing together. It's not like one siege tank or one Thor are good in and of themselves. You need to have like such a ridiculous amount of them.
Yeah, when you don't have a critical mass, it is not actually cost efficient whatsoever, this unit comp. So, you know, you hit him right before he could actually do anything there. And, like, you don't really come back from this against a player of Curious's stature.
Yeah, unfortunately not. In fact, he might even want to double expand while doing this.
Yeah, like...
He's got so much right now.
The thing is, it's probably just going to end right now. Sometimes a mech player can hold on and then, you know, the game can go on for a really long time thereafter, but
we actually
0% of winning the entire time, you know?
Saw BravO take his hand off the mouse for a second, scratch his head. I mean... Very frustrating moment to be in. It's 149 to 80 supply. You know, the fourth base is going to be finishing momentarily.
Yeah, from here as the mech player, what you're generally looking for is your opponent getting overconfident because they're so far ahead. That's how you end up winning is the overextension from Zerg. Will Curious do something like that? Well, it's a possibility. So BravO should actually stay in this game. I can't hate on that, that's for sure.
Yeah,
in fact,
it's kind of a discouraging position to play from, you know, when you're BravO.
I wonder if he might try something a little bit tricky here and make only ground units, like Siege Tank Hellion, or Hellbat, rather, and try to just kill Curious on the off chance that Curious doesn't figure this out and do a tech switch. You know what I mean? Like, if you're just staying on roaches, teching up, Hellion tank will just slaughter you, like Hellbat tank. The Hellbats just tank everything, the tanks tank everything, and that's a different type of tank, of course. But something like that could be a tricky way to try to come back. Just make a comp that kills one thing and hope he does that one thing.
Well, be curious, just erring on the side of caution here. Notice he's got a lot banked up. Only one Corruptor out here. Not sure if he's debating going into a mass Muta, for instance, or something like that.
That's scary. That's some scary stuff.
That's annoying.
Yeah, luckily he does have a missile turret here. It's turret pushing, realizing all the various ways he can die. I'd love for him to come back.
The drones are being transferred now. This is double Spire he's going for, so he's going to have a pretty threatening air army.
There's really no reason for him not to do everything at once right now.
Yeah, when you knock a meching Terran off of 3 bases down to 2, like, they can't even make out of all their factories a lot of the time.
Yeah.
They're so behind. You can upgrade a bunch of different stuff at once, and then you're the jack of all trades in the late game.
And the thing is, if BravO actually hits a max without Curious really getting a bigger edge than he has, again, you get so cost efficient with mech that you know, Zerg suddenly has to start spending way more to try to kill you with. So maybe BravO can come back here. Okay, 23 meters. There you go. That's a good strat. Then 23 meters.
Roach is coming down now. Not any convenient way to get in there.
Look at this. He knows to look for something like this. If he sees those pop, no.
Too late.
If he scans again in like 10 seconds, like where the rally point probably is, that would be like just awesome.
So this mini Muta is coming out like this, upgraded as well, +1 armor. And pretty soon +1 attack. It can blindside this army.
I think it'll go to the main and just kill everything.
Yeah, why not?
And then if everything walks up, like all the Thors, it just flies down and kills everything that the Thors are now not guarding.
Looks like Terran actually wants to expand to the gold base. That's pretty gutsy. And this is a good number of turrets here.
Yeah, this is going to slow him down enough that there's a chance of actually defending against this before it kills everything. Sending 3 Thors up right now. How many Thors does he actually have right now?
What? I'm not entirely sure the full amount. I know he's got 3 coming up, but
okay.
Let's see.
You know what? I mean, that amount of missile turrets, what did he kill there? He just spent time killing missile turrets.
Whoa, he's just going to go right over this. Yeah, I mean, the missile turrets are completely expendable as well.
BravO is actually fighting his way right back into this game right now. He hasn't made any missteps. Now, I mean, obviously, it's still in Curious's favor. He still has the lead. He's got way more mining bases. He's got, like, his entire tech tree filling out. A huge bank. Can do a giant tech switch at any time. Probably going to want to try to trade these roaches in for something pretty soon.
Remember Evade? Bird War?
Is his ID now BravO?
I think his ID is BravO. Evade was this guy who could just turtle
just
to this
turrets.
Comical amount and would win most of his games by you mining out and then having no options.
Yeah. He would win his games from people getting frustrated versus him.
Yeah. I'd like try to recall on his side of the map with arbiters so many times, and then
you can't do
eventually
that.
Be like, well, I guess I'm done.
He'd have more missile turrets than anyone ever.
Yeah. Curious is, again, taking the proper route and responding to this. He's going to get Broodlords and try to push. Now, this is not the same as the last game we saw, because when he pushed with Broodlords there, that base was next to the Zerg's base, and like they were just tucked together.
Yeah.
But
the creep spread
now,
is good here, though.
It's good, but he doesn't have as many places to run and hide to.
No, he doesn't. And how many Vikings does he truly have? Like 6 right now or so?
Believe so.
Maybe 8. He's adding a second starport. Does have a decent number of Thors because of that Mutalisk presence. Okay, he just... I think he... Does he barely see the edge there? Yeah, he sees one Broodlord. Okay, so he knows Broodlords are on the way. He's making a ton of Vikings right now. I mean, if he clears this up pretty well, then BravO is actually in a decent spot then.
Well, the attack's about to commence. It's going to start with these tanks being eliminated.
Yeah, he'll be able to pick some of those off
yeah,
very,
fast
very
splash damage actually works in this game. Nice transfuses, by the way. They're on the Queens.
Yeah, he's got a target with these Thors right now, but the Roaches and Queens coming up as well. The Siege Shanks making quick work of all that.
Nothing here to contest these for now. The Corruptors just continue to drive back all these Vikings, which means the Broodlords are going to get in here. They are going to do the damage they needed to do.
Yeah. Well, that was a great chase down. That was a well done break there by Curious, just chasing down the Vikings, not letting BravO do any sort of micro there, just saying, no, I can tank all your shots with the Corruptors while my Broodlords clean up.
BravO has this interesting quality because he is so good at turtling and staying alive, and even continuing to push after being put so far behind. However, Curious has, it seems, all the tools necessary at his disposal to tech to where he needs to go. A lot of players who are not on Curious's level will bungle that and attack into BravO the wrong way, lose too many fights, and BravO pushes across the map to win. Not Curious, he seems to be more than equipped for that style of play.
Yeah, that's why he's been in Code S so many times. He knows what to do in these circumstances. But BravO had the right idea of how to try to come back there at least. That's definitely something that would work for BravO against lesser Zergs, as you said. BravO kind of
a little bit nervous here. Yeah.
Well,
it's tough. Those are 2 long games that he lost.
He wants to be in Code S, Tasteless.
Don't we all?
It's like, but S stands for Samsung. Like, well, I mean, not in Code S, but yeah, Samsung starts with S also.
Man, those are tough games to lose. 2 long games that you were playing really well in, and then you died.
S stands for started. Okay.
We'll see who wins this letter of the alphabet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, S stands for one of the last letters in the word tasteless. Then our test is like, S stands for cards. Man, I have to say BravO does look a bit more flustered.
Yeah.
Maybe worried about his hair. Maybe I'm misreading this.
No, this is actually something I've obviously both of us been over here for 7-8 years now. But like I used to do a lot of journalism out here, the camera and stuff, and I have caught this like this is a really kind of funny thing. Maybe this is common everywhere in the world in esports, but I've really paid attention in Korea. When people are playing with their hair, it's because they're really nervous and flustered.
Interesting.
Like, to a T, man. I am not kidding. I have seen this so many times.
Well,
like
rubbing their
behind
necks
stage.
a lot of neck rubbing. Yeah.
I even have caught myself doing that from time to time if I'm nervous or flustered. I don't get nervous or flustered. What a joke. But no, it's definitely something that I have noticed amongst pro gamers quite heavily.
It's going to come down to BravO winning on merry-go-round and then doing a marathon victory run through the next 2 maps after that. Curious, practically tenured in GSL Code S.
Yeah.
I don't think Curious is very interested in even seeing a game number 4 here. I think he wants to close this out. BravO's got to bring out every trick in the book.
We will see if he's able to do it. Merry-go-round, definitely a map that you can win on. With the type of skills he's shown so far, I would even give him an edge against Curious here. To be honest, he just had 2 good games against Curious.
Still got a shot. It all comes down to this one moment. Either BravO can start the comeback or Curious goes on to the GSL Code S. In the bottom, in the red, he is
StarTale Curious.
He needs to win 3 games in a row or his story ends here.
Samsung Galaxy Con BravO.
All right.
So this may end on merry-go-round. I would say this is probably a better map maybe for BravO.
Yeah. It's a little bit favored for Terran. 4th bases are very hard to take, but
It might even be better for someone like BravO because of the way he's been playing.
yeah, I mean,
Long game.
he showed that he has a lot of skills in like setup, that attacking down the ramp thing on Iron Fortress. That's the type of thing you're going to use on this map, that type of style. So I feel like he can take this game. If he just goes a regular bio play and just plays as well as he played in game 1, definitely can take it. We'll see though. Curious, pretty dead set and going back to Code S.
Well,
Did you ever own a cat?
I own a cat right now.
I mean, before this cat though.
Oh, no.
I know that you have a cat right
Okay.
now, Jason.
I was like, you could just say that.
I've been to your house a lot.
I was going to say, you could just say that I have a cat. Like,
No,
set this up.
I mean in the past.
No. My mother is allergic to cats, so we never had a cat growing up.
Yeah, okay. All right.
You were wondering if Curious may have killed it. Was that it?
Well, I was going to ask you how it died. I guess that's a little bit
I
dark,
see.
but I was going to just be like, yeah,
Sorry.
you know, they say Curiosity killed the cat, your cat died. You're like, he was looking where
You're
he
really
didn't
sad.
belong.
I'm like, you went to America and murdered the cat that I had with my family, and now you're playing in the GSL and I'm casting your games? This is weird. So we have the spawning pool getting close to finishing.
Yeah, looks like he wants quick speed here as well. He's made pretty good use of that so far in this series. And, did you ever have any pets growing up?
I had a parakeet. I had 2 parakeets, actually.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm a bird guy, man, growing up. That's why I turned out the way I turned out.
You do seem like a bird guy.
I'm good with birds.
My,
They love me.
My nerdy friends that were like maybe slightly less nerdy growing up had birds.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like this. It's this subset of nerd. There's like you're trying
It's
to
not
figure
like
out if you're a
I
nerd
had
or
like
not.
a pet snake or something. Those guys
Yeah.
never turn out to be okay.
No, those guys are. That's nerd life.
Some nerd sitting home right now with his snake hood around his neck, like, hey.
Be proud.
Everybody knew that one guy in college that had that pet iguana. He's not a CEO right now. No, I had a.
I had a friend that had a pet iguana. Actually, it was like a very weird pet. I mean, I played with it some and stuff. It was just like.
I mean,
eventually it got so
would you call
big.
it plain though? I mean, it's sort of just.
Yeah, mostly just like hold it and like, watch it walk around and stuff.
Well, here come the Lings up here.
Oh, a little bit indecisive there for a second. Does decide to go for it though. Nice micro on both players.
Yeah, good center step micro, but he is going to get all 3 of those. And the Marine on the wrong side of the wall in. Or I guess it doesn't matter. Lings are pretty bruised.
Yeah.
No, I had 2 parakeets. Very good with birds. Birds are great animals to have.
That's why you actually get along with me so well. When I get flustered, you put a blanket over my head. And
That's right.
I go to sleep.
When Artosis gets stressed out, his feathers start coming out.
Yeah.
Although now that I'm older and stuff, because I had a bird when I was in like elementary school, but I think it's probably better most of the time to let birds just fly around.
Yeah, I would.
You know,
guess
like
so.
a lot of them, you put them in a house, they can't get too much
I personally
flying.
will not let. I will never own a bird. Personally.
Yeah, there are a lot
I've
of
never
work.
actually really been interested in owning a bird.
Oh, hold on. The Hellions are coming out now. And are they going to be intercepted?
Speedlings. Could be.
You know, he forced a close there at the wall in. So this actually is going to work as a surround. Oh,
Looks
my
like
God. The perfect
placement.
micro. What was that? That was crazy good. He's still going to get it, though. It doesn't matter.
Ooh. A lot of damage on his
Don't
legs.
read too much into what I said. I mean, he's still in trouble.
Yeah. Hey, he's keeping him out of his expansion.
Yeah.
Does look like we're going to have another little Hellbat shenanigans going on. Spinecrawler immediately starts. Looks like Curious. Starting to figure out exactly what's going on.
Tosis.
Yes.
We have a counter push here from BravO. A drop with Hellions moving up to the front. It'll really depend on how Curious handles this as to where the game's going to go. I mean, if he holds this off and maybe even counters attack, he's going to be in great shape.
Yeah.
But we'll see how good BravO's micro is. Can't really speculate too much at this point in time.
Yeah, this is, I think it comes down probably a little bit more to how good the micro of Curious is here. He doesn't have transfusions this time, doesn't have that many lings right now. So both those are an issue. Of course, BravO not really minding. Okay, third queen does come down. Nice, picks off one of the Hellbats already. Nice micro back. That Spinecrawler really worth its weight in gold here, and that was a very strong hold.
Okay, the drop's continuing on, but I mean, Curious has really got this. This harass is only supposed to be effective because Terran's expanded behind it. He's not expanded behind it just yet.
Transfuses that Overlord, by the way. That was a nice
yeah, that was pretty slick. What? Oh, okay, it's a Viking.
Like, how's a Hellbat hitting that?
Yeah. I mean, Curious just looks fantastic.
Yeah, his defense
Huge
has been
worker
really
lead,
spot on.
by the way. 47-29.
Ooh.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is hurtful. He is only on 2 bases.
True.
Take that with a grain of salt, though. He's going 2 base muta, so it's kind of meant to be that way. And this is not a very anti-air heavy strategy that we have from BravO, going Hellbats early on. So definitely the mutas are going to have potential to do some damage. But he is making 2 Vikings at a time. Does this mean that he's going to go into mech?
I don't think this would be the good map to go mech on.
Yeah, this is
Right?
not like a super common map whatsoever. Like, you normally see bio here for sure. We've seen mech here occasionally, but it looks like he's going mech to me. Yeah, I mean, he has to be. He starts... it could be one of these builds as well where you go a lot of mech into bio. Those are a little bit more rare than just like pure mech builds, but it's looking like it, man. And it seems like he is a very good mech player as well. So wouldn't mind that.
Let's see. For now, he's just staying back. Well, maybe I spoke too soon. It looks like he might move out with the Hellions now. But yeah, curious that this 2-base muta play, and he's getting the double Evo chamber there. So Curious can actually parlay this into a proper mid-game, late-game here.
Yeah.
No problem, especially when you consider the delays he did earlier.
Ooh.
If these Widow Mines hit, oh my God.
Oh, that's actually a really big deal if they
Are
hit.
you serious?
Okay.
Are you serious?
God, he neo-dodged those.
This makes you think about, like, there were people in wars that walked through minefields and didn't know they even walked through minefields.
Oh my God, oh my God. Ooh.
Damn.
All right, that was a perfect defense by BravO. Only 2 SCVs died to 2-base muta. That's great.
Roach Warren now. Now, Terran is going to do a bit of a counter push here. There might not be enough to defend here. This Muta clump is not that threatening. 8 drones are hatching right now. The Roach Warren's not even done.
Yeah, he needs that Roach Warren, or he needs Baneling speed to finish, but this is hitting at like a really sweet spot of time.
Oh, man. Let's see how the control is here.
All right, does bring these Vikings in. Going to be able to push back those mutas very, very quickly. Baneling's trying to do what they can. Oh, he gets the Marines. That's actually very nice.
Problem is there's so many Vikings here, the mutas can't actually fight them.
Yeah. What a cool push that we're seeing here from BravO.
We have 16 Roaches, though, being made here. Now, remember, if he doesn't kill all the drones, It's not the worst shape in the world.
Yeah.
But this is a pretty big blow to Curious right now.
He's losing like a lot of overlords as well, which is really painful.
Yeah, he's actually supply blocked right now.
Yeah, on this 2-base economy that he's had this whole time, it's not like he has a whole bunch of minerals to play with. He already lost most of his gas units in the mutas and the veins, so he's just sitting here making roaches. He has to make more overlords. This is actually very, very tough.
Well, the Roaches did hold this off, 61 to 56 for Workers, so Curious still in a bit of a worker lead, but then you have to count Mules in as well for BravO. 3-base to about to be 3-base here for BravO, but will the counterattack force us to lift? Let's see.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have, like, roach speed, right? So that's kind of painful. You will have that +1.
Roach is going to move up now.
Yeah, redroning very heavily here. Obviously, we'll get to the lift here. I don't think he can really do anything at the natural, though. I think he's going to have 3 siege tanks now in just a second.
And you were right, by the way. He is going to go into mech.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm really happy to see it.
Yeah.
And with how this game has started out, I'm actually expecting BravO to be able to win this game.
I have to agree. I'd be very surprised, considering how long BravO held on when he was in a deficit. The fact that he's got a pretty substantial lead here against Curious is very, very telling.
Yeah, his mech is quite good. I've seen it occasionally in the past. Don't get to see as much BravO as some other players, but there's a few Terrans that are really quite nice at mech. Gumiho, of course, comes to mind. One of the big mechers.
Well, that 3rd base is set up. I don't see Zerg breaking it. I think with the supplies being where they're at, it should be pretty easy for Terran to keep up here for a little bit. With Curious basically going down the right route. He's going to go ahead and take a 4th base since he can't contest this. Also getting to macro hatch where his 3rd base is.
And Curious is going to have to basically expand all towards the left because that push coming south will kill everything in its path very, very quickly. But he can really circumnavigate, especially if he pushes his creep kind of like straight up through this middle area. Because from that 3rd, right, you'd imagine that we're going to see BravO push probably close to straight down over that high ground. It's like a very strong place to push with mech. And try to go towards the natural, maybe cut everything off, which I think is probably why he put that macro hatch at the 3rd that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. By the way, I love that we're seeing Hydras mixed into this. That's really cool.
This is really cool. Well, this is possibly a pretty good response, actually, to what we're seeing here. He might want to just get that DPS out there.
Yeah, especially with Vipers probably coming out next, I would imagine.
Mech is also, especially in StarCraft II, even more so than Brood War, really about the mech comp, too.
Yeah.
You got to have a good composition.
Definitely. You have to actually counter the units that they have. Like you have to have your siege tanks balanced correctly and stuff.
It can be a little bit trickier for the Terran to have that right unit balance. Since Zerg can produce, sometimes 20, 30 units just in a second.
Easy, yeah.
Banking up stuff.
Especially if they're roaches.
Yeah, you can really throw them off. We've even seen moments where the mutas are play there.
Yeah. 40 mutas.
Yeah.
And then 40 mutas. No answer to that.
No answer. Oh, God, that died fast.
Yeah.
Well, the one problem with meching on this map, and this is what I was a little bit afraid of when we started this tech route out here, is that it's really easy, as you guys can see, for Curious to just take the bottom left-hand side of the map and go into late game.
Yeah, there's not a lot that can be done harassment-wise. Like, he can run around Blue Flame Hellions and see what he can do, maybe throw out a medevac every now and then. I think that's kind of wasteful at this point, though. He's basically just got to make a gigantic push. With these Vipers coming out, though, Curious is going to be the one that's trying to get some damage done.
Also important to note, if Zerg can lose his army a couple times over, meching Terran can't. You lose, especially the tanks and Thors. That's a no-no moment. Those things take way too long to remake. Oh my God. This is pretty cute.
Yeah,
not even scanning
he's doing
here.
A very good job of how to target here. You can tell he deals with this a lot. But that was super well done.
Totally
eliminated
unfazed
almost every
there.
drone.
Yeah, it's completely unfazed that moment back there. We have an Ultraless camera coming up here. Now, even though Terran can get the perfect mech army, it takes Zerg a little bit longer in a long game like this to actually balance out their army to counter mech.
I would almost say you can't perfectly counter it. Well, you can,
you
but
need
it's
to have
like
all
a
the
swarm
tech,
host.
all the different tech buildings, all the upgrades.
Yeah,
Enough larvae banked up. It's a bunch of things that sort of happen after supreme late game. Or I guess it is a supreme late game.
You
what
have to
we're
have
talking about.
a very good understanding, a very good plan based upon what you're killing in the composition. Like, if you happen to take out a bunch of siege tanks, remax with roaches. If you don't take out the siege tanks, but a bunch of Thors hit the dust, then switch to mutas. You know, there's you have to be kind of flexible, and that's why we see oftentimes Zergs just kind of get everything against mech, because you have to be ready at a moment's notice to make what is needed. And if you're not, we see some players sometimes, like, I believe, didn't DRG lose a TVZ where he just refused to do anything but...
Is he targeting the CC? Oh, no. I'm not sure what the story is with this attack, but I guess he is going to force a lift here. Oh!
Oh, nice grab there. But,
well, how funny. He actually managed to get that to lift up. I guess the tanks really were farther back enough. I thought some of them were under the Vikings, but it was not the case.
It was a good enough defense, I guess. Did end up killing off Vipers, got a lot of those roaches dead as well.
Continuing to upgrade everything is Curious. Curious now getting 6 Ultras. But there's a push down through the center of the map here. Now, this is how you deal with mech, guys. Watch carefully. What do you do when you see all those tanks moving out? Run up, get in their face. Right when they go into siege mode, run away. They unsiege. Run up, do it again, make them siege, then run away.
Yeah.
You can drag this out by a minute or two before they get close to your base, and by then you might have more options at your disposal.
Now, it looks like he is going to move up immediately and siege this base. Cuts right through there after getting that huge army advantage after the attack of Curious on his third. So that is a powerful position to be in, especially with those Banshees helping out. This is going to be a hard army for Curious to actually deal with.
Now, this forced him back a little bit. Zerg does have a little bit more mobility, although oddly enough, it's the least mobile of all the Zerg unit comps. It's actually Roach Hydra, so they can run around, yes, but they're not actually that agile.
Yeah, I would argue that Spinecrawler
Overlord, no speed.
Yeah. But here we go. We actually have these Ultras running in first here, tanking a lot of damage, taking out quite a few siege tanks as well. These Banshees are in here. Is there any detection there right now?
I don't believe there is, actually. The thing is, those Banshees would be dead a while back there had there simply been an Overseer. However, what were we saying earlier? Tanks, Thors, those are the big kills there that Zerg needs to get because those take just so long to actually build. Wow, that Thor dies fast.
Yeah, that is a lot of damage output, and that is, he will clean this up, but that did a lot more damage than it really, well, the thing is, it did how much damage it was supposed to based upon where BravO attacked. BravO got a little bit greedy trying to take out that 4th base, but that put him on creep, and that put him out in the middle of the map. That's why I was talking about how I thought you would probably attack directly south, because then you have the edges, you can't be flanked by ground units, and, you know, it's an area that Zerg literally can't even attack into.
I got a number for you, Artosis.
What is it?
25 mutts coming out here.
25? That's half of 50!
There they all are.
Half of 50 mutts! Whoa!
I mean, he is...
That's a quarter of 100!
You're so good. I love this. He's going to be able to take out these Banshees. Oh, no. The Overseer slept in.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Tanks.
This Mute is going to kill off so many siege tanks.
And you're a dead tank, and you're a dead tank.
And this is the thing that we were talking about with switching up your tech.
Yeah.
He's switching the Mutas after killing off those Thors, realizing that his opponent had to build siege tanks because roaches are the scariest thing, which means Mutas come in, kill the siege tanks, which means he can now switch back into Ultra, Roach, whatever, ground stuff.
Yeah. So he's making Ultras now and Roaches. It's panic mode for BravO. He's trying to... He's scrambling right now to try to get a unit comp that can stop Mutas, but Curious doesn't care.
No, he doesn't care about these Mutas even. It doesn't matter. All he needs to do is continually switch his tech and run out and bash things. He's got so many bases now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bases. I had to count.
This is pretty bad. You see turrets are springing up everywhere, but he's already going into Ultra, so that's just going to stop that the moment he gets over there. It's kind of funny. It's like a defense reverse whack-a-mole or something for Terran, where he's like, oh, God, Mutas! Turret, Thors.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, Ultras, Roaches come in. Oh, my God!
It's like one of those really tough tower defense games where you actually have to memorize what's coming each round.
Yeah.
You ever play those really tough ones from Brood War that like actually took like a team of pros.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
a
not
long
even
time
joking.
league.
There were times when I'd be at LAN parties with friends, and it'd be like 8 of us playing a turret defense.
There was one of those really hard turret defenses that came out. I was actually playing with a bunch of North American pros. We played it like 30 times before we beat it. It was crazy.
It's crazy, man.
We had everything mapped out. Eventually, I would burrow a circle of Hydras, then unburrow them to trap a bunch of units in. It was that
crazy,
hard.
man.
Like, I had to make a perfect circle very quickly.
What was that turret defense called, by the way? There was a couple of them. I can't remember it, but that was fun.
It was.
So you can see here just a surplus of minerals and Vespian gas for Curious compared to the not bad supply, but incomparable supply and low minerals right now for BravO. I mean, this is pretty difficult to recover. Also, same rules as what I said in some of the previous games. Terran can't really have more bases than this. Don't be confused. I'm not saying that it's imbalanced or unfair. It's just sort of naturally the way that Terran moves around and can defend stuff. You got to be kind of wadded up into a little ball as Terran always.
No.
And or I'd say for Zerg can just keep expanding. They have Creep Highway connecting everything. They've even Nidus networks. If you wanted to use that, there's just so many things available.
Looks like this is a very strong attack coming in here right now. Good blinding clouds do in fact go down. The SCV's trying to repair, but turrets in their way. Can't repair quite enough there. But with these Banshees, he's actually going to eliminate this Ultralisk Hydralisk army really pretty efficiently overall.
Kind of surprising we're still having problems here for Curious not having Overseers with his army. Wow, and Curious is already maxed out again. 40 mutas.
Oh god, again. Really switching up these compositions quite quickly.
Well, 40 mutas.
Like, he's in the middle with this? He can't be in the middle with this, can he?
I don't think so,
He doesn't have
my
enough
friend.
anti-air in case if his opponent goes mutas, then he's pretty screwed.
Oh my gosh! I didn't realize BravO wasn't fully aware of.
Oh my god!
Here. I think we're going to see
a bunch of
GG
Widowmines.
here.
Oh no, those didn't hit what they needed. Yeah.
Oh my god!
That's a lot of mutas.
Well, probably not a good idea to siege there. Not that it would have mattered anyways. So that's going to do it. GG 3-0. Curious. He knows his late game, my friends. BravO's very good, but Curious has got an answer to everything.
Curious, more like Codesius.
Have we not made that joke before?
Probably have, actually.
Yeah, probably.
He's been around a long time. BravO played some really good StarCraft tonight. Looking forward to hopefully seeing him in Code again next season.
Yeah, I would like to see more of this guy. You could see he was good. He just wasn't as good as his opponent, Curious.
Yeah.
Curious also one of the toughest opponents to go up against in Code A.
Yeah,
he always gets out of Code A.
It's very true. Like, you got to give him a bad ass to kill him, and that's hard because he's always hitting Code S, which means he's playing against a guy from Code B. But BravO, I think, is a player absolutely Code A quality. You know, like, he seems like one of the better Code A players that didn't make it.
For the sake of summary,
even though it was a 3-0.
Yeah, it was much closer than the numbers of wins versus losses here.
Yeah.
3-0, but each game was close. Went to the late game. BravO definitely put up a fight. Managed to hang on and drag it out. But Curious, he knows his late game. He knows how to switch it up with his tech and how to consume most of the map. We are going to go to a short break. When we return, we're going to go to a PvP to get that final spot sealed up before we end Code A and move on to our final set list of 32 players for the GSL Code S. Stay tuned.